Hey Cole, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing great. You're working with Coach Herb Hand. He's the offensive line coach. I'm sure you've gotten to know him a little bit over the last month. What's it been like? What's he like? And what's it like finally getting to work with him on the field?
He's a great guy. Really self-driven. He knows what he's talking about. He's been around the sport for a long time. He's a player's coach. He's on and off the field. You have great conversations with him, whether it's about him cooking or it's about inside his own footwork. But it's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to the rest of our time together.
As you evaluate your game, what would you like to do to take it to another level?
First and foremost, especially just working on the details. There's never too much you can do with the details. It's just focusing on those. The little details become big things, especially when you're in a cohesive group of five guys. You want to work on yourself at the same time. You want to get your whole unit together because it's not a one-man position. You got five guys up there, so you're only as strong as your weakest link. So I feel like me working on my game, I really got to help other guys and be vulnerable to other guys helping me, even though I'm an older guy. So I think that's you got to put something like that into perspective, really, to increase your game and kind of lose the ego.
Cole, you guys are an experienced group up front on the line. Are there any other players, maybe that younger guys, maybe you see stepping up? I know it's like two practices, but you see maybe some guys step up in the weight room and on the practice field.
Of course, yeah. Especially when the new staff came in, I've seen a lot of guys kind of stepping up because at the same time we're all in the same boat. We got a new staff. Everyone's new to each other, so nobody really knows what guys are the dudes on the field and who's not. So everyone got their own chance to kind of make a name for themselves. So I feel like we all kind of started in the same position, but definitely seeing younger guys, second-year guys stepping up, and really proud of them taking initiative on the field, especially with learning our new footwork. So I'm really proud of those guys, and I hope we keep pushing forward through there.
Cole, what have you seen over not just this couple of weeks or practices you've had so far, but over the past year or so since he's arrived at campus and now where he is now? What have you seen from Paul Ruppel?
Oh, I've seen tremendous change. It was really hard for him because you have to understand he was learning English. He's pretty good when he first got here, but when it translates to calls and in the meeting rooms, it was a little bit harder for him to kind of register the calls and, just our own lingo. So on that note, I think he's doing a great job really being able to register our calls and being able to figure out all those sorts of things, especially just him getting experience in the game of football. He's having a lot more experience, getting a lot more comfortable. We all still need a lot more work to do, but I see him definitely kind of getting a little more comfortable and pushing himself a little bit more.
Cole, you're one of the few guys left that I believe that were, here for the first transition when Frost left and Coach Heupel came in. Maybe Sam Jackson was here too. So you kind of know how these things go a little bit more than some of your other teammates. So just kind of knowing that experience and you being an older guy, how has the team kind of adjusted? How have they responded? Obviously I know it was a shock when everything happened the way it did with Coach Heupel leaving so late. So with Gus coming in, how would you say the team's kind of rallied behind that, and how are the guys getting along with the new staff overall?
I think just from the first day the new staff started stepping in, it's just been the team has been able to keep themselves vulnerable to change because, like a lot of people say, like EG was saying, it's not the strongest that survive. It's the ones that are vulnerable to change that are really going to push themselves and become great. So us being vulnerable to change and the team buying in, we can get started a whole lot faster because we're trying to build great relationships with these guys and we're trying to build some trust. So whatever they're telling us we need to do, we trust them that it's going to be the right thing. And we're going to trust them in their words and that we're going to go perform for them.
Cole, Chris Dawson's a long-time strength and conditioning guy, well known among college football guys. What have you got to glean from him, I guess, early on so far in the process, and what stood out to you about his strength and conditioning program?
He's a big time on discipline, and I'm a big fan of that. Discipline's a huge factor when it comes to strength and conditioning, and he's attention to details, whether it's through the warm-up or it's the very end in your last rep. He's going to push you and he's going to motivate you, whether you don't get it or you do. He's just going to make you feel good about yourself and understand what you need to get better at and why you need to get better at it. But I love the guy so far. He's been amazing, and couldn't be happier.
How would you describe Coach Malzahn's approach during a practice and how it was different than what you had experienced before here?
Oh, he's a high energy guy, and I love it. You know, he's straightforward. He's going to tell you what he wants, and we're going to perform for him. I mean, I really like it. I really like how our practice is shaped, and we're just go, 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 go. We're going to get it done. We're going to get all of our work, as many reps as we can in the time that we have. And I think it's great, honestly. He does a great job of that. And I'm looking forward to the rest of spring ball with him.
Cole, when you look at the offense, obviously Dillon returns, most of the offensive line returns, but there's some competition, obviously some running backs and wide receivers in different spots. Maybe has anyone I know it's only 2 practices and you guys haven't had a full scrimmage, but does anyone look good? Has anyone impressed you, or is there anyone you think is maybe going to have a breakout spring when you look at the offense?
Right now, I'm really just trying to focus on the task at hand. But at this point, everyone's kind of starting off in the same position with this new staff. So we could have some guys jumping out. We might not, but it's all about consistency. Who's going to jump out consistently every single day we got practice, and in the weight room, in the classroom. We just need guys. We're going to stay consistent. And I hope we get some guys jump out. I'd love that.
Cole, Dillon's ready to start year 3 at quarterback. It seems during all this transition, he stood up and took more of a leadership role. Have you seen that from him, and what's it been like as he gets ready for year 3?
Yeah, especially in the locker room. He's the guy who's really going to try to make his rounds with the position groups, building relationships. A lot of us have great relationships with him. I think he's been doing a great job being vocal, especially on the field with his new staff, really trying to keep us attention to detail. But I think he's a great locker room leader, and he just needs to keep it up and keep pushing himself, especially on game days or in the practice fields when it gets towards the end during the team.
All right, last question from Brandon.
Cole, can you just kind of speak a little bit about, the development you've seen from Matt Lee? Obviously came in as a true freshman, kind of got some heat early on, obviously rebounded, it was all conference and all that. What have you seen from him, and what are your expectations of him going forward now that he's more experienced and entrenched on the line?
He's a tough kid, man, really tough kid. When he first came in, you already know he had the mental toughness. He already had the physical toughness, especially you seen last season, that little bump in the road. You really saw he just put his head down and went to work. And that's the type of guy he is. Comes in and works and leaves. He's just a first one in, last one out type of guy. I live with him, so I know that firsthand. He's a hardworking kid, man, and there's nothing but up for him. I'm excited to see what he does in the future.